Okie dokie. I gotta cut. And whenever I talk, I feel like I could talk forever. Um, I'm not right about everything, by the way. These are things that are going through my head, and they might be of me, or they might be of my sidekick that I picked up through life's way. Maybe they feel the same way, do you think? Maybe I am no longer here. Because do you know what? The people that I called my mother, and my mother said this, and other people that I knew. It was like the person that they once knew. In my mom's situation, it was like my son had died. And when you're listening to people like Joyce Myers, and I don't want to get on this subject right now because I love my mother a lot, my birth mother. I am very thankful she was my birth mother. I would not want anyone else. I'm convinced that God knew what God was doing and I had the right people in my life. I was going to go through things, we all do, and the more I realize, I'm glad even with the officers, I'm glad it was them. At the end of the day, what they did, because of God's love in my life and getting away from the human race into my own residence, I have been able to come into some form of healing that says it could have been a lot different, and thank goodness it was the way that it was. Because I made it through the straw, so to speak, the tunnel. Some people may call it the eye of the needle for now, but I wouldn't go that thin, but I would say through the straw. I feel like I went through a straw, a tunnel, a very thin one, squeezing my way through. Do you know that all I ever needed at any given time in my life, when I was crying to licensed physicians, psychologists, mental facilities, nurses, places I went to get tested for HIV and stuff, how to get my needs met? What are my alternatives? Do you know that most people don't know what to say? If the government doesn't want to promote more of how we can get our needs met and what we truly are entitled to, then I also feel very strongly that the government shouldn't tell me that I have to cover my mouth to go in public. In fact, I should be able to personally remove that government from their position, firing them, because they sent a message from their office, the place they stood, all the way into my personal brain. I didn't get it through watching television. I didn't get it through listening to the radio, and I never attended. I should. Anything to do with the government when they speak. I was thinking about it when Obama came to Ohio. I was thinking about it, at some point in my life of seeing one or two presidents speak, because I am drawn to what appears to me as a higher intelligence speaking. And sometimes, through all of us, higher intelligence does speak. And sometimes, I don't think so higher intelligence so much as cruelty. And when it comes to tax increase continuously is not, can I tell you, it's not the answer. Waking up to reality is. I wish that I could call an order that they would have to, through federal mandate, that with others of a very high skill and valued and appreciated in the United States would account for every penny since 1972 when I was born, because I would have needed to resort to it at some point. Of all of the prostitution cases that they slammed, fines, penalties, imprisoned, and even beaten to death. People. Because they acknowledged, I want to stay alive, I don't know what else to do, or I need extra money so I can take care of my kids, so I can go to college, so I can buy a new car, to calculate all that, and acknowledge what percentage of tax-paying money, which would be through their slavery, could be utilized in a more mature manner, like being of medical assistance to all of us, like providing safe and secure homes for people who are pretty much being barbecued on the beaches of California? You think that's the devil's work? Time to flip. You don't need no lotion on that. We're going to be eating us some humans. And I'm not laughing at their situation. If I were out there right now, I would be asking them questions as to why they're there. How did they end up there? I met a man by what I call khaki pants is relative to that military, federal kind of operation, Homeland Security, I don't know, you tell me. But they approach you what appears to be very respectful, very kind. You don't feel threatened in their presence. It's the fact that they talk to you in a manner that you know they're of them. And they tell you things like, the homeless people, they did it to themselves, Tracilyn. That's exactly what he said. And I'm thinking, my song, I've Fallen Far, I'm just a step away from sleeping on the city street. That's real. And I was trying everything I could. I was on the boardwalk. And I was sick of crossing paths with people who just want to suck my penis. I'm a girl with a penis. And usually the only thing anybody ever wants to really do with you in private is suck your penis. And I'm not into that. You gotta pay me first. And it has to be, what, in my idea. If you overstep your bounds, then I kick you out of my room. Is that good? Yeah, if I find you disrespectful or I'm not attracted to you for whatever reason, you gotta scram. I had high standards, believe it or not, when I was an escort. But I was getting worried that I was gonna have to lower my standards. And I even spent one time in Hollywood a street a walking. And this was during a season of time when I started to realize this is no joke and things could get a lot worse for me. And I would have to tell you through my own witnessing that God had me just a step away from ending up on the beach with everybody else. By the way, I seen it. They're infested with lice. They have, not everybody. I don't want to say everybody. But I seen it. White bugs jumping. Okay? You can see it in their hair, in dandruff. Not everybody. But it's there. I'm pretty convinced that they didn't do it to themselves. I think there's much more going on. And I'm pretty much convinced that there's psychological warfare, a continual. And I would like to say shame to the entire Christian community, the Catholic community, and anybody else who's claiming that they love and believe in a great mighty God. Even myself at times. However, I am not trying to condemn anyone as though it is their personal responsibility. What is the answer? How much longer can we let people lay around outside, burning in the sun? Don't you want your beach back, California? Let's go ask the smart-ass Beverly Hill kids. Or people. You know, the ones with the big, fancy houses. Let's go door-to-door knocking. Don't they want their beaches back? The way they once were? Were they ever better than that? Meaning without bodies disintegrating, being cooked, sizzling. Do they smell it? It smells like there's a barbecue going on out here. Don't you want your beaches back? Because I was disappointed when I saw it because of my circumstances. I thought to myself, it would have been really cool, knowing everything I've come to learn, if I could have had a nice, safe home to my idea of what a home is. Location that I could mingle with people in California, in LA, who love blue skies, who love the sun shining on their face, who love to take nighttime walks with the moonlight reflecting off the ocean and the sound of it. And maybe they have a flower in their hair. And maybe they're talking to other nice people that really love that too. And maybe they see somebody with talent entertaining people on the boardwalk in a friendly manner, not in a disturbance and annoying way, but people who know life. Tonight, we live, we celebrate, for there is much more with us, and it's all over. It's everywhere we look, it's everywhere we listen, and there is supreme, and it's smiling somewhere. I have learned in this life the Joyce Meyer's teachings of go out and do something for other people for a season of time. There's a lot to learn in doing that. But like this lady's writing here, you see this memory loss? I don't know if that's somebody who's losing their memory, if it's anything beneficial for life, or if it's somebody who's coming into clarity. Do we need a memory? Do we need to remember? I don't know. Maybe our brains are meant and intended to be used for something different, especially in the present moment. Because it's so important that we think about yesterday as much as it is today. And in that situation, instead of looking at people and thinking, oh, we gotta help them, they did it to themselves, I'm not helping nobody. Yourself. Do you miss the days of taking a bicycle ride, in Venice? Seeing other guests from around the world, or maybe seeing that occasional celebrity and running up to them and saying hi and hoping that they're friendly to you. Can I quick have a picture, or can I just want to say hi to you and that's it? Is there something wrong with that? I wonder how many people met the love of their life on the boardwalk or on the beach, how many people made love or had romantic nights or days. How many people enjoyed the opportunity to rub lotion on other people's bodies while they were there? I don't know. How many people got to sit by the waves or to splash and kick the water? To splash. What's over there? What's over on the other side of the Pacific? Is there somebody, God, right now doing the exact same thing? And if we could, we would see each other eye to eye. Nose to nose. You don't think so? Maybe? I don't know what the answer is. What is it? I'm pretty convinced that in my lifetime, most of what people were assuming is what works is not what works. Do you know that I realize that when you go about it the way that we're taught to go about life and you work for other people, work may or may not be there for how long. But when you start serving your inner thoughts to the better of your ability with careful exploration of possibility, study of the potential of what would be best, do you know that there's servanthood indefinitely? Never goes away. And it gets to the point that you realize when a person, no matter who it is, I would have to say would be certain, if you serve your inner thoughts, though it may be time span variance for each human to acknowledge, what God will share with you, you could employ many men and many more. In other words, when one human begins, have you ever wondered what kind of jobs will we have in the future? When we're talking about the economy, you kind of start to laugh because God just shared with you one extremely valuable acknowledgement. When a human surrenders to the truth within their own brain, despite all that they may be going through in the process of that, so long as they can live through it, be in a safe place long enough to apply action, they will acknowledge. In the economy world, this would apply multitudes, many. I don't know what the answer is. Do you think it's God? Do you think I'm being smart? Do you think instead of being forced in a manner of going to school, there be penalties against you in a system that says it's best to leave God out of everything, and we place our hand down here, our heart down here instead of our heart up here, and we pledge to a flag that pretty much has been the big cock in many, if not all of our asses, because it's screwing the shit out of us, America, and the idealism of America culture. I would have to say today that I kind of understand why others afar don't really, even if they're way up there, far, 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 far away from this, what we call a planet, might not be a planet. It may be, maybe, the school of life. Maybe there's things for us to learn while we are here. All right, I'm going to let you go. I'm looking forward to seeing this video. I have more to share with you coming up this summer. I am making phone calls to the hospital that I was born at. Why did they put male on my birth certificate? And are they still doing that today because I had a penis? The education system. Are they aware that there's intrusion in each child? And that there is no such thing as a learning disability, most likely? Are they aware of the importance of heart, here, and psychology main focus? Do we need to raise our hand to talk yet? Or can we speak freely? And have we learned that 30, 40 kids being taught by one person might not necessarily be what's best for everybody in the room? We're going to find out, because I'm going to be making a lot. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, share it. Like it, subscribe it, write YouTube, and tell them to stop blocking Tracilyn Michael. Because that's what they do. They block my content, my music videos and stuff. A lot of it is because I speak freely, and I am not shy about revealing myself. I'm not shy. It's something thinks I guess I should be more reserved. Leave me a comment, complain to me, tell me if you think that I'm overstepping bounds, you know? But then again, be mindful of what you're watching on television and those other videos as well. And stop supporting only the people that you have acknowledged through the radio and television in some manner, sharing with you in a magnification that they are and your next door neighbor is not. Okay? That's the enemy inside of your own brain trying to get you distracted from what is real. Disneyland kind of productions going on inside of your head. Be mindful of corporate, what we call corporate. Okay? It might be another alien life force that actually has that company. They call it a company, but it's not.